12 Subtle Habits of Highly Attractive People. What is it that makes someone truly attractive? I believe that to fully embody this characteristic, it takes more than just getting lucky in the gene pool and being aesthetically pleasing. The real essence of being highly attractive resides in how one carries themselves, treats other people, pursues their passions, and lives their life. For most of us, when we're drawn to someone, we don't really stop and try to define the reasons why, but we know that our subconscious is noticing things about them that are causing this magnetism. If we can understand, harness, and display those qualities ourselves, then we can work to attract more of the right people to us in all areas of life. Relationships, career opportunities, friendships. What, then, are some subtle habits that highly attractive people display, sometimes without even realizing it? 1. They display welcoming and open body language. Most people move about the world on a daily basis without being fully conscious of the nonverbal messages they're sending through all of their interactions. The reality is that what we're feeling on the inside finds itself displayed on the outside, and signals it to the people around us. If you are intentionally sending the message that you don't want to be approached or talked to, that's one thing, but I've heard from many of my clients in the past that people have told them they're unapproachable even when they're not trying to be. More often than not, the culprit is simply a lack of awareness about how we're presenting ourselves physically. Body language like crossed arms, or shoulders pointed away from people, or looking down at the ground or your phone, are all avoidant and say, "Leave me alone." Again, if that's what you want, great. Mission accomplished. But if you're looking to meet someone, or to make a great impression at a networking event, or are walking into a big meeting, you may find yourself being misjudged or misunderstood. But James, that's just how I stand/walk/talk/look, I'm not trying to be that way. Right, that's exactly the point. It takes intentional and deliberate attention paid to how we're carrying ourselves in order to send the message that we want to send. 2. They make other people look and feel important. Would you rather be around a person who is always bragging about how great they are, or always gushing about your skills, or their partner's amazing qualities, or deferring attention to the rest of their team and praising their efforts? The answer is obvious: nobody likes an attention hog, and even less so when that person is always reminding us that they're the best/most/biggest/strongest/coolest, whatever. The inverse follows: then, we do enjoy being around people who are willing to share the spotlight, even if they're the one that attracted it in the first place. This goes for all areas of life. We want to feel special in our relationships, in our workplace, in our friendships, so, naturally, we are most drawn to the people who help us achieve that feeling. 3. They remain calm and relaxed. It took me a few television appearances before I really understood the power of slowing down. When you have 2 or 3 minutes of airtime, you find yourself rushing to speak as fast as you can to get all of your points in. However, this can appear frantic and anxious, which can indirectly make those around you feel the same, and they'll tune out altogether. The real key is to slow down, to appear cool, calm, and collected. To speak more slowly and intentionally, but more specific and pointed, so you can still get your most important ideas across. People will focus and engage with what you're saying when you practice this, because it displays confidence and certainty. Speaking too quickly sends the message that you're nervous about your ability to keep people's attention, so you say as much as you can, as quickly as you can. Slowing down displays a knowledge of the value you're bringing, and the understanding that others will stop and listen. This may take practice, but take a deep breath, sit back, and explain your points at a pace that allows you to focus on each word with the power it deserves. 4. They smile. I just felt every single woman reading this tense up and clench her fists. Women, since the beginning of time, have been told to smile more, and it's a clear sign of chauvinism and patronizing talk that is encouraging them to just be pleasant, conform, and nod along with whatever's being said. This, however, is not what I'm talking about. Every human, man, woman, and child, appears more welcoming when they smile. We invite others in by doing so. More often than not, others smile right back at us when we give one to them first. A smile in itself is a universally understood expression, because it's ingrained in our deepest biology as something positive, happy, and attractive. 5. They ask inquisitive questions about others. How many people do you know whose favorite topic of discussion is, well, themselves? Probably more than you'd like to admit. Now, how much do you enjoy those people's company? Probably less than you'd like to admit. While it's natural for people to enjoy talking about themselves, conversations are not dissertations of autobiographies. And, considering this very truth, those who are genuinely interested in us and enjoy hearing us talk now and then, gives us space to step into that energy and therefore associate the feeling it brings with that person who gives it to us. Sometimes the easiest way to get someone to like you is to not say anything at all, just ask and inquire about them. 6. They maintain some sense of mystery. It's old hat that mystery is attractive in relationships. It keeps people wondering and guessing when they are tasked with finding things out about you. It makes it interesting, and takes more time, like peeling back the layers of an onion. If we just lay all of our cards on the table the moment we meet someone, not only are we guilty of oversharing, but we eliminate any sense of wonder or curiosity about who we are or what we stand for. Think about that person from point number 5, the one who always talks about themselves. Is there anything that you don't know about them? Or have they bared it all even without waiting for you to earn their trust? It's no coincidence that you wouldn't place them in the highly attractive category. 7. They care about others. A few years ago it became cool to just not care. I never really understood why. I think it was some sort of defense mechanism that people fell back upon to prevent getting hurt. At the same time, though, building walls to keep out the pain can also keep out the happiness. In order to truly bond and connect with others, we need to be willing to care for them and about them. This is true of leaders at work, of family members, of friends, of intimate partners. Nobody wants to be around someone that seems completely indifferent about their feelings, thoughts, opinions, or emotions. We are drawn to those who care, because it signals they are a safe and reliable person to be our true selves around. 8. They are friendly to all, but selective who they let in. There's nothing attractive about someone who brushes others off, but the truth is that we cannot be accessible to everyone either. We must have standards and boundaries for the treatment we accept in return. I believe that the way we treat others is a reflection of ourselves. If we are a kind, thoughtful, and empathetic person, those qualities will be projected in all of our interactions. However, we must also maintain our own expectations and limits. Not everyone is deserving of your friendship, love, or time, and if everyone could get it, then it would become less valuable. Be kind to everyone, but still protective of your heart, time, and energy. 9. They don't engage in gossip or bashing others. I mentioned earlier holding a standard of conduct for oneself. This conduct should be based on honor, integrity, and respect, none of which are displayed during gossip or disparity of other people, regardless of how tempting it may be, or how deserving of it they may be. Highly attractive people hold themselves above the base desires of humans to talk badly about others. They understand that this does nothing but create a negative energy around them which will stick with people and influence their opinion of who you really are beneath the surface. 10. They are always honest. Some people believe that telling others what they want to hear is the best way to win them over. They can get that sale if they just bend the truth a little bit. They can get that second date if they just tell you that right thing, even if it's not entirely accurate. This, of course, only backfires in the end, and you'll no longer want to be around someone that you cannot trust or believe. It's attractive when you know what you're getting when you're around someone. This builds consistency, trust, and respect even if they're not always saying what you want to hear. It's better than being lied to for the sake of comfort or manipulation. 11. They honor their own body and mind. James, are you saying someone has to be fit and smart in order to be attractive? I thought this wasn't about appearance. Listen, we all have different levels of ability, different body types, different appearances, and different tastes in other people's appearance. There is no universal answer to what is attractive when it comes to physical preference. However, I do believe that someone who takes care of themselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually will be more attractive than someone who cares not about their own personal health and lets themselves fall apart. It's a sign of self-love. It's a sign of self-respect. It's a sign of the willingness to improve. Drive. Ambition. Standards. That is what makes it attractive, not what it makes the person look like, but what it communicates about the standards they hold for themselves. 12. They are fully and authentically themselves. Think of the people you like being around the most. Think of the people that you admire and respect. Think of the people that you strive to be like. Do you have any doubt in your mind about who those people really are? Do you have to question how they'll show up in the moment, or do you already know? Odds are, one of the very things you love so much about them is that they don't let other people's opinions influence them. They live as their most true, vibrant, and authentic selves out in the world. You know what you're getting. And they seem happy. Why? Because they've let go of the weight of society's pressures. They've grown the confidence over the years that empowers them to be unapologetic in their identity, purpose, and power. And perhaps even more importantly, they've worked to develop and improve this authentic version of themselves. They've focused on self-improvement, they spend their time reading and learning, they honor their body and mind, they respect themselves. Nothing is more attractive than that. My private clients find themselves living more confident, purposeful lives and cultivating healthier relationships with those around them. Click here to book a free call to see if we're a fit to work together. James Michael Sama is an internationally recognized speaker, author, and personal development coach. Finding success in creating hundreds of viral articles and videos on building limitless confidence and healthier relationships, James has accumulated over 39 million visitors to his website and a collective social media following of over 400,000. James speaks at live events and in the media across the U.S. and has become a go-to expert with outlets such as CNN, Bravo, The New York Post, The Huffington Post, The Daily Beast, CNBC, The Boston Globe, CBS, and more. Give yourself credit. 15 signs you're an amazing partner. It's hard to give yourself credit, to really look in the mirror and recognize all of the things that make you unique, desirable, and for lack of a better term, the total package. If you're like most people, you frequently get caught in the trap of comparing yourself to others. Particularly in the age of social media, we are frequently fed images and videos that are highly edited, dramatized, and theatrical. Hardly what real life looks like off the screen, but it's hard to reconcile the differences between what we see there and in the mirror. So, we become critical of ourselves rather than celebratory. When we're critical of ourselves, our self-esteem suffers. When that happens, we stop believing that we're worthy of what we really deserve, so we start accepting less. I say that it's time we break that pattern and acknowledge the things that make you, yes, you, magical. The traits and qualities that people are looking for. The results of the work and effort you've put in to become the person you are today. 1. You enjoy seeing other people happy. Great relationships aren't about give and take, they're about give and give. When both people willingly put in the effort to make the other happy, it creates an atmosphere of gratitude, trust, respect, and love. You're the type of person who is always doing small things to make the people you care about feel valued. It makes you feel good to make them feel good. Who wouldn't want to be with someone who has this natural desire? It makes you a great lover, a great friend, a great parent, if you choose to have children, even a great colleague or boss. I think that so many people are caught up in keeping up with the Joneses, where they're just trying to prove themselves to themselves, and those around them, all the time in order to feel better, that it's becoming increasingly rare that people actually put others' needs before their own in order to bring joy to those around them. The irony here is that it's actually more effective to create an internal sense of happiness and fulfillment when you are giving, and not trying to focus everything on yourself. 2. You are patient. Anything worthwhile takes time, and what is more worthwhile than building love with the person you've chosen, and has chosen you? It's not just love that takes time, though, it's getting to know each other, trusting each other, learning about each other's background, opinions, beliefs. You need patience when moving at your partner's pace in the beginning of a relationship. You need patience when your partner has a bad day and needs to vent to you. You need patience when they're not doing something the way that you would do it. You need patience when your kids are taking too long getting ready. You need patience when you are generating clients for your new business. You need patience when your parents are aging. Patience is not sitting around just waiting, tapping your foot, anxious about when it will finally happen. Patience must, by nature, be calm and accepting. It must be genuine. You must be truly willing to give people the time and space they need, and if this is an inherent quality that you possess, it will allow the breathing room required for love to grow in its own time, never forced, rushed, or hurried. 3. You are honest, but kind about it. The caveat of kindness is important here because our society has slowly moved towards a kind of uncensored honesty that sends the message of, if you can't handle me, you don't deserve me. Honesty, of course, is a key piece of any relationship. We must be truthful about our feelings, our thoughts, our desires, and our emotions. Similarly, we must be willing to tell the truth to people rather than just trying to appease them or comfort them with a lie, no matter how small. We shouldn't, though, be harsh or abrasive in our delivery. The old saying, "It's not what you say, but how you say it," applies here. Everyone wants honesty, nobody wants their feelings hurt. You simply cannot have a loving and trusting relationship without honesty, but it should never come at the expense of someone else's feelings, either. 4. You are passionate. Passionate people are attractive, but not for the ways you might expect. There's an obvious draw to passion in a relationship, the kind that feels magnetic. It draws you to a person in the most primal of ways. There is also, though, passion for life. Passion for an interest, a hobby, a cause, bringing happiness to others. Passion for something that sets your soul on fire. That you love doing, or experiencing, or creating. That type of passion extends far beyond the relationship itself, and it empowers you to build a life that you wake up every day excited to live. This energy inspires the people around you. It makes them, also, want to pursue the things that they love. Being with someone who's passionate about their life will help to keep the fire of the relationship burning. Every day is a new adventure, whereas, conversely, someone who's unclear or unexcited about their interests is going to seem apathetic, lazy, and generally blah. Which type of person would you rather build a life with? 5. You're consistent. Consistency is a valuable trait in a partner because it means we know what we're getting. We understand that we can trust and rely upon this person because they've showed us, consistently, over time that they're going to be there. They'll be our cheerleader when we win, our support system when we lose. They'll laugh and cry with us. They'll pick us up when we're feeling down. They'll be beside us on the sunny days, and holding the umbrella over us on the rainy days. Consistency is the key to building trust. If someone is always running hot and cold, it's difficult to predict what, or who, you're going to get on any given day, which in turn subconsciously holds us back from giving our full selves to the person, as it feels like a risk of getting hurt. Consistency, also, is a strength in other areas of life. It helps you to build positive habits, routines, achieve goals, and pursue your ambitions. 6. You're emotionally available. Let's be honest, not everyone is emotionally ready to be in a relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all need to process our own things in our own time, and if you're not ready for love right now, it doesn't make you any less worthy of it. It does, however, take you temporarily out of the dating pool, as it should. Many a heart was broken by getting into a relationship with someone who wasn't ready for it. If, then, you are emotionally available and ready to open yourself up to love, it becomes a highly desirable trait as that door is open and the stage is set. It is immensely frustrating, difficult, and painful to try to build love with someone who isn't ready for it, so honesty about the place you are at when you meet someone new is paramount. 7. You're curious about the world around you. Intellectual curiosity is the fuel that keeps our personal growth lit ablaze. When you're curious about the world, it keeps you hungry to learn, grow, and explore. You become interested, which in turn makes you interesting. I believe, of course, that we must love and embrace our partner for who they are today, in this very moment. That is, after all, the only thing that we have. It is simultaneously true, though, that a lifelong commitment means that we are going to experience many seasons of growth and change alongside that person as they evolve over time. If you are driven to grow, your partner must also be. If you are always trying to learn new things, develop new skills, experience new arts and cultures, but they have no interest in moving past their current state of being, it's going to eventually create a chasm of distance between you over time. Curiosity gives you the knowledge and depth to have a variety of conversations about a variety of topics, which, I'd suggest, is pretty important when you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone. 8. You're empathetic. Empathy. The ability to share someone's emotional experience. To feel for them, to feel with them. When choosing a lifelong partner, we are doing so with the understanding that life is going to throw us curveballs along the journey. Hell, it already has, hasn't it? You've been through the ringer. You've faced heartbreak, loss, challenges, bankruptcies, failed ventures, family illnesses, financial struggles. What, then, would that experience have been like with a partner who lacked empathy? Perhaps you already know. The truth is that it makes you feel even more alone than if you were alone. A person who is unemotional and distant can make you question your entire emotional experience and value in the moment. Someone who is empathetic, though, is going to make you feel heard and seen as you're working through your challenges. They're going to be right there alongside of you, in the trenches, holding your hand. Empathy is the very thing that allows us to create bonds and connections with those around us, inside or outside of our intimate relationship. 9. You've got class. Class? James, are you saying you need to have money to be attractive? On the contrary, real class is unrelated to your bank account balance. Real class has nothing to do with price tags, it is an attitude. Class is reflected in how you treat the people around you, how you carry yourself, the way you make people feel. Class is having integrity, depth, honor. We've been overrun with imagery of #classy online and immediately associated with a certain social stature or level of financial success, but I've met plenty of rich people who have no class, and plenty of average people who are swimming in it. Class is nothing more than a decision to bring value to the world, treat the people around you with respect, and operate with a level of integrity that never puts your character into question. 10. You're willing to put in the effort. One of the biggest complaints I hear from private clients these days about their dating lives is that people are just not willing to put in the work. They're lazy, won't plan dates, don't take the time to really get to know someone. You, though, are ready and willing to give yourself